before Zack Snyder ruined him. Man, that sucked. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikinis and Transformer Lamborghinis. Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering Tales from the Crypt, back when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote scripts.
All right here is no mystery, 'cause it's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 382. I'm Jeff.
I'm the intern.
And with us is Scab Jeff, who is replacing Blake, Jim, and Jason this week. Yay!
Yay!
And Blake.
I think I mentioned him. I think I said his name first, which was too nice of me. I shouldn't have put Blake first, but apparently
chances are he won't listen anyway. So
apparently, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, it's all right.
I was gonna say apparently Jim's golf league started this week, which I found out 3 minutes ago, and Jason had some family stuff to do, like a child's birthday today or something, so I don't know about him.
He just doesn't like being on the show when I'm on the show.
I think that's it. And Blake claimed he doesn't work if Jason's not here, so it's in his contract that if Jason's not working, he doesn't have to work.
I asked about that, but I've just been told that my contract's in the mail. So, Doug, if you can get me that contract, I appreciate it.
Come on, Doug. We trust the mail. I hope. So we really have no outline other than everything we didn't cover in the last 2 weeks to talk about. Yay. So first of all,
I haven't listened for the last 2 weeks, so the world is available for me.
Or we can just cover what we covered the last 2 weeks because Jeff hasn't heard any of it.
I wasn't here last week either, so.
Oh, so this is new for everybody.
You could just pull up the transcript from last week and we could just go over the same thing.
Well, let's see. Anybody have any fun, exciting, or interesting stuff happen to them this past week that, these past couple weeks since you guys have been on that is worth throwing out there?
I found a new board game store.
Ooh. Which one is
But
that?
I think you already like it on Facebook. It's Yada Quest up in Evendale.
Okay. Yeah, they closed several years back, and I think they reopened, so I haven't been there since they've reopened.
I did get Clank Legacy, the Acquisitions Incorporated.
Oh.
They had it there.
All right. You're not allowed to play it without
I know
me.
that. I know. We agreed that I wouldn't play without you because you let me play your Betrayal Legacy with you.
Yes. And I'm a fan of Acquisitions Incorporated, so I actually will understand all the jokes and inside references that you won't.
I do like the legacy games though. I thought that I'd hate the idea of playing a board game where you actually destroy the board game as you go along, but I really, really like it. Like I played I think the Pandemic Legacy Season 1 was the first one that I actually played, and it was just fantastic. And like each week that we played it, it was like this amazing thing that you didn't expect to happen happened, and then it changes the whole game, and it was very good. I was very impressed.
So when you're done with the game, do you feel like now I've just got an empty thing sitting there that I mean, now I got my dozen plays out of it, which a lot of games you only play that many times anyway. But does it
Well,
feel like?
I've probably got 300 board games by this point, and I've played probably 95% of them, maybe 98% of them. So there's some games that I haven't played at all. There's some games that I've only played once. There's some games that I play 2 or 3 times. But the Legacy game, I played at least 12 times. I think I failed a few times, so I think I probably played it 15 times. So that's a game that I played 15 times, which is more than I've played most of my other games.
All right. And can you still play that just without the fantasy or the continuation, the legacy aspect of it? Like
for the Pandemic's
Pandemic.
Legacy Season 1, you can play the last month again.
Again, okay.
But it's not the same. It's almost like at that point it's almost better to play the regular Pandemic.
Okay. Because I thought I'd heard you can play it or just play like regular Pandemic on with that board and cards, but I didn't know how true that was since I didn't play Pandemic Legacy.
A lot of the cards you destroy and a lot of the cities have been
blown off the map.
I don't want to give spoilers. I don't want to give spoilers. Because when the big spoiler came up, I was like, oh my god, I don't believe that just happened. And it's a board game. Like, you don't think of that when you're playing a board game. Like, something's going to absolutely blow your mind, like one of those moments in a TV show or in a movie. But that did. But that might, like, everybody ranks Pandemic Legacy as one of the top games of all time, so I don't know if, like, Risk Legacy would be completely boring, but we've been playing Betrayal Legacy, and that was really good.
It was. So far, I'm like waiting for like the big thing to happen though. We haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
And
I like the idea in Betrayal Legacy, you're like a family that from year to year you go into this haunted house and whoever wins the last time takes over the deed for the house so they kind of own it and the other people come in. I like that idea. But yeah, there hasn't been a big wow moment yet.
I would say I would like that idea if I've ever owned the deed to the house, but I've never won one of these sessions yet, so my family, I guess, is just terrible.
Yeah.
Well, that and you guys keep making me be the betrayer and then beating me.
I think that Tristan would have loved to be the betrayer every time. But no, you keep taking it away from him.
I don't want to be the betrayer. Especially that last time. I felt like, oh, crap. We only revealed one thing, and so my minions weren't spread out. They were all in one spot, and I thought, oh, this is not going to go over well.
But I do. I really like the idea of this legacy game, and the legacy game is essentially you have a set number of games that you can play of this board game, and you destroy things and you change things permanently as it goes along. And at the beginning, I hated that idea. That seemed to be a terrible idea for a board game, but it's not. It's really not.
Excellent, Brian. You have any interest in playing a board game where you destroy half the cards and pieces?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Sweet. I'm going to invite Brian in for my next legacy game then.
We did try to burn one of the pieces last time you were over, and it didn't burn.
Yeah, it was kind of inflammable, or flammable, or not flammable. Whatever the proper terminology for something that doesn't burn. It's like, oh, we get to destroy it, let's burn it. And I guess it's coated with something so it doesn't burn, and I wanted to see it go up in flames. And it barely smoldered.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Anybody see anything on television or movies in the past several weeks worth talking about?
Since
go ahead.
since I was on the last episode I was on, we had the 40 going on 14 guys on,
Yeah.
and they talked about Bruce Campbell a lot.
Man.
So I've been binging Burn Notice. So I'm almost through season 4.
Wow, in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I have not seen an episode of Burn Notice, and I couldn't even tell you what the premise is.
So it's Jeffrey Donovan is the main character. He is a spy, and he gets burned by CIA or whoever he's working for.
Oh, okay, not physically burned.
No.
Okay.
He's not like he's not caught in a burning building or anything.
Okay.
So that's like a term when you're burned, you're out of that's their way of kicking you out. So
when did this show come? Was this from the 90s or was this like 2005? Like I remember watching a long time ago.
Early 2000s, I want to say. So it's Jeffrey Donovan, Bruce Campbell. Can't remember the name of the girl in the show, but it's actually way better than I thought it was going to be. It started off a little slow, but it's actually turned into. I'm actually really happy about it. Like it's actually a really good show.
I remember it being fun.
So basically, 2007.
Okay.
2007 to 2013.
All right.
So
I'm not sure it was on USA, right?
it was, yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if I caught, I was before the Netflix time, so I didn't know. I don't know if I caught it from beginning to end, but I know that I saw a lot of the episodes of it, and I did really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime right now.
For free?
Yeah. Yep. So that's basically all I've been watching.
I'll have to go ahead and put that on my list of things that I should see, but probably will never get to. That list is getting long.
Yeah.
At the top of the list is The Wire.
I couldn't get through 4 episodes of that. I'm like, this is kind of boring. Everybody talks about The Wire and it's so great, but I never really liked The Wire. I didn't get through Oz either for the same reason.
Man. So both of those shows I've watched multiple times. My suggestion with The Wire is make yourself watch the first season, and by the end of the first season, everything will make sense and it'll suck you in.
Yeah, I didn't get to the end of the first season, so.
And then Oz, Erica and I watched that, and it's awesome. And the cast is great, and the story I've said before is just terrible. It's prison, so everything that's terrible that can happen happens. So, but it was, it's one I've seen Oz probably 3 times all the way through, and The Wire 3 or 4 times.
I remember the insurance commercial guy was very terrifying in what I saw.
Yeah, he
J.K. Rowling.
Simmons.
J.K.
Rowling is a completely different person.
Yeah, he's definitely reinvented himself from the head of the Aryan Nation to the farmers only insurance salesman.
And and now he's doing the voice on Invincible, which I watched over the weekend. So,
oh yeah,
I caught up on the 5 episodes out. Have you heard this one, Jeff?
I haven't.
In Invincible, it's a Amazon Prime show.
It is. It's an Amazon original.
Yeah, it's an animated show based on, I suppose, the comic book by Robert Kirkman, the co-creator of The Walking Dead, is co-creator of this, and it's about a superheroes, and it's a lot more grittier but not like overly
Boys.
not like as like necessarily R-rated as The Boys, but it doesn't go that far. But it's
Like Watchmen.
It's like right in the middle of The Watchmen and The Boys. Like it's not as vulgar or over the top violent as The Boys, and it's not quite as political as The Watchmen.
although there is some language and whatnot in it, but J.K. Simmons voices one of the main characters.
It's basically the baseline premise is like J.K. Simmons plays like the
Omni-Man is his
the
name.
veteran like superhero guy, and it's about his son who he didn't get his powers like as soon as he thought he was going to, as he was growing up, and they were thinking that he wasn't going to get them, and then he's like, I don't know, 17, 18, and he starts getting his powers. So it's like he's showing him how to become a superhero, and there's storylines behind that they're telling. So it's pretty good.
I mean, it's a world where superheroes are all over the place too. So there's like the big main team of superheroes, and then the teen team of superheroes, and the bunch of other smaller teams that are terrible people, and then villains.
And it's animated?
It's animated, yeah.
Like, what kind of animation is it on par with? Is it like the old X-Men? Or is it like...
I think it's better than the old X-Men, but I mean, it's not anything. It's not like any anime type style or something like that. It's kind of straightforward, kind of like what you get with, I don't know, what do you call it? DreamWorks animated, like, but probably not as great
like
as a
How
movie
to Train
quality.
Your Dragon type of thing.
But
like
not
I find
well.
I find it hard to get into like dedicate that much time to an animated show. But the way you guys are explaining it, it sounds like something I might be interested in.
Well, put it this way: watch the first episode, and if by the end of the first episode you don't feel compelled to continue,
yeah,
because the first episode, at the end of the first episode, I'm like, I want to know what happens next.
Exactly. I felt the same way. I watched the first episode and I was like, all right, this is okay. And then comes like it does one of those like where the episode ends and then 5 seconds of black screen and then they pop back up to show you a little bit more. And that little bit more, I was just like, I was watching it like, I gotta know what happens. So.
And at the end, do they say, and knowing is half the battle? Do they do
They
one of
don't
those
do
things?
that. No. It would be better if it did, though. So I think what I'm going to do from now on is when I watch it, once it gets to the end, and I'll just say, and knowing is half the battle before I turn it off. God, I'm trying to think. I don't think I watched anything else because I was watching that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. I've only watched the first 2 episodes of that.
I haven't started that yet. I didn't watch Kong versus Godzilla, but I'm focusing on the Oscar movies. This is probably going to be the first year that I'm able to see every single Oscar movie before the Oscars.
Wow.
I've got 9 left out of the 53.
Wow.
I've got 4 of the international feature films and then 1 of a handful of other categories. And I'm going to have to get Apple TV on my Roku because there's 2 of them that are only on Apple TV. But since it wasn't all in theaters and having to find these obscure theaters to watch the things, I think I might have a chance this year.
Oh, excellent. When is
What are
the broadcast, the Oscars?
It's a week from this coming Sunday.
Okay, so a week
So
from
there's,
this Sunday.
yeah, the
the
25th,
25th?
I think. Yeah.
So I will be completely immunized, or whatever the word is, from this COVID disease.
As will I. Sunday is my second shot.
I get mine Friday.
I got my second one week and a half ago.
Aren't you too young for that?
I am not.
I thought that, like, as soon as the 40 to 65-year-olds open up, I scheduled mine. And
Yeah, when they, what was it? I don't remember when it was, but it was like, I don't know, a month or so ago when they opened up another level. Like every time they opened up more, more spots, or, opened it up wider to more people, I just kept trying to register, and I finally was able to just get through and then get an appointment through Kroger. So, I mean, I took it.
They let him do it, so he did it. Okay. I heard a story that, it was terrible. My sister was going to the local Cintas Center where Kroger had a thing set up where she was getting her shots through there. She went for her second shot last week, and she said there was actually this time a line. Well, first time she went right through. This time she had to wait in a line, so like 45 minutes she was waiting in line, and she gets up, and they like take her card and they put the new sticker on or whatever, but they said they can't fill out the rest of it until, after she gets done and through the line, because some people were getting the sticker put on their cards and leaving without actually getting the vaccination.
So that's where I got mine as well. And so the day that I went was the first of their second round, the first day that they started doing the second shots.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was definitely far more people than the first time. And like the concourse where you go in, the line wrapped all the way around, like to the back of the exit. So,
yeah.
But it was moving fairly quick. So I was only there. It wasn't quite as long as your sister, but that's what they were doing while you were in line. They had people coming along asking for your vaccination card, and they would just peel off, the printouts, the stickers, just putting it on the second shot. And, I would have never have imagined someone just getting the sticker and leaving without getting the shot. I mean, I didn't see anybody do that, but I mean, it doesn't really surprise me because people suck.
Yeah, apparently people have been doing it, so. Okay, let's stop talking about stupid people that infuriate me.
Fair enough.
Do we
look like...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it doesn't look like Jason did a lick of anything this week, so we didn't have a poll of the week.
No, we didn't have a poll. I mean, we can make up our poll. Why is Jason so bad? Because he thinks his impressions are good. Because when he's not on the show, he doesn't do a poll. What other reasons are Jason bad?
He used to have a goatee.
He still does.
No, it's a beard last time I saw.
No,
last time I was on, it was clearly a beard. If he still has a goatee, or if he shaved it back to a goatee, I'd be very disappointed in him.
I honestly don't remember. Oh, what's wrong with the goatee? I've had goatees on off and on. Yeah.
Well, and back in the 90s, it was okay. I had a goatee in the 90s.
Yeah, I think I started the trend. Mainly because my beard didn't come in right here, so I shaved that area. So it looked intentional.
Yeah, it's just silly nowadays, though.
What if you have just the chin? You like shave the mustache and you just do the chin.
I think you have to be something special to pull that off.
Okay.
I could never pull that off.
Well, we know Jason can't pull that off.
What if you just shave the chin, but you have the mustache going up into the mutton chops?
Oh, that anybody can pull that off. Everybody should do that. If I could get Jen to approve, I would totally do that.
You should just do it the night before the wedding.
Oh, I totally should.
Oh. Maybe he won't even have a choice. Yeah. No, I mean. Right.
Is that what the bachelor party's gonna be? You're gonna shave it into the 1800s.
Well,
Burnside.
I'll put it this way. As of right now, that's the only plans I have for a bachelor party. So.
Excellent.
So I'm saying don't expect a whole lot, except maybe a face shaving.
Not the whole face, just
Oh yeah, just. Oh, she's going to listen to this now, isn't she?
yeah, we should like do some sort of hypnosis or something so she forgets that part.
Maybe I'll just edit this out. Yeah, that ain't happening. Do we want to get into talking about the Oscars now before we do anything else? And that way we can make sure we have that covered?
I'm good with that. I'm all prepared. I've seen all but 9 of them.
All right. I suppose we just start at the top. Best Picture?
Okay.
Okay, let's see. According to my research, meaning I pulled this up on Variety and I've got a list here. Best Picture, we've got The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7.
My research matches with that. I have the same ones nominated.
All right, cool. I like
I've
to
seen 3 of them.
I've seen
The Father
zero.
was really good, even though it was based on a stage play. And usually I hate the ones that are based on stage plays, but The Father was real good. And Anthony Hopkins just nailed it. It's like an older person starting to face dementia and Alzheimer's, but it's from the point of view of the older person. So everything's all mixed up and things from the past, and you're not sure what's real, and it's really well done. Judas and the Black Messiah was good. I really thought that I'd love Mank. It's like the making of Citizen Kane in black and white, all stylish, but it wasn't that good, I didn't think. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but I didn't really love it. Minari was okay. It was better than some of them that were nominated. Nomadland, it seemed like a 70s documentary, like one of the, like what was it, the coal miner's daughter or whatever that was. It kind of felt like that, and it wasn't bad. But
It was definitely quasi-documentary, like,
yeah.
because that is a real, it is a real thing. It does happen, but
even the cinematography, it felt like one of the 70s documentaries. Promising Young Woman, Jen really liked it. I didn't really like it. It was like a fantasy of some woman who's been screwed over by men too much, and now she's getting her revenge. I don't know. I didn't really like it. Sound of Metal, I really liked. And Trial of the Chicago 7 was probably, between that and The Father, it was my favorite. Nomadland's probably going to win. That would be my vote for what I think would win. But if I had to vote for what my favorite was, I'd probably say The Father, closely followed by Trial of Chicago 7.
So you're definitely saying I should watch The Father.
The Father, or Trial of the Chicago 7 was really good too, but The Father was like, it was surprisingly good because I really, you know how I hate movies that are based on stage plays that are made into movies but I really don't like those kind of movies, but this one actually worked. And One Night in Miami is the same way. That was another one that was based on a stage play, and that's up for Oscars, and it actually worked. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that was exactly the reason that I hate stage plays made into, because they just feel claustrophobic. It feels like you're in one spot the whole time, and it's just about dialogue, and it's not about the filmmaking or anything like that. But Father was very good.
So I'm assuming that for the Oscars that Hamilton is not up for any Oscars like it was for the.
It is not. I still don't believe that was up for Best Picture in the Golden Globes. That's crazy. Because they literally just filmed them doing the stage play. You could see the stage and the mechanisms on the stage and the people.
You could see the people moving the props around and stuff.
Exactly. But at the same time, that's the one movie that was nominated for Golden Globes that I've watched more than any of the other ones, because Hamilton's a great stage play. And it's like, I'm playing games on game night, and I play that on the Alexa.
You just talked to Alexa, and now she's going to start asking you questions. I did not understand that. Okay.
But yeah, the stage plays made into movies, it's very rare that I enjoy them. But The Father was one that I did. One Night in Miami, it didn't feel like a stage play made into a movie.
And Steel Magnolias, that's one of the best all time stage plays turned into a movie.
What was it, On Golden Pond? I didn't really mind On Golden Pond, I'll give you that one. Although I still felt the claustrophobia of it.
What about
maybe the top 5 should have been movies that were made from plays.
Oh, that would have been a good one if we thought about it before right now. But what do you think about those like Chicago, where they're like throw in like the things that are like the dance numbers and make it look like a stage, like in the middle of the story, then they just kind of go into, hey, we are on stage, we are not pretending this isn't a play.
I didn't like Chicago because it had the claustrophobic, like you're on stage, like Cats had the same thing, but like Singing in the Rain, that didn't have that feel. And I'm not sure, I don't think that was based on a stage play, but it had that sense of suddenly they go into a dance number that everybody comes in, and it looks like a stage production at that point, if that's what you were going for with that question.
Yeah. Excellent.
But specifically Chicago, I felt the same way with.
Okay.
I'm not sure I've ever seen Oklahoma.
I don't think I ever. Whoa, your phone just vibrated on us.
My apologies. I will turn it on.
I wasn't sure what happened at first. That's fine. It was just all of a sudden there was a loud noise and you shook. It's like, there's an earthquake over at Jeff's. I suppose then we can move along to Best Director.
I've actually not seen one of these. Another Round is up for foreign film and up for Best Director, which really fascinates me, and I really want to see that movie, and that's one of the next ones on the list, probably tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm anxious to see that. Manx up, which who is it?
David Fincher.
David Fincher is up for that, which he did a good job. But again, Mank, I wasn't real impressed with Mank. Minari, I'm not sure who directed that. I know it's got the guy.
Isaac Chung.
The main guy is the guy from Walking Dead, Glenn,
Oh, okay.
the main actor. But it was out of or the next one, Nomadland, which again it had a very distinct and the feel of it kept going throughout the whole thing. So
And that's Chloe
direction
Zhao
was
who
very
directed that.
direction was very competent. Promising Young Woman. It doesn't seem like an Oscar movie. It seems like a fun movie for someone who has been screwed over by people romantically in the past. I was not a big fan. So of the four that I've seen, I almost think that Nomadland was the best directed of those. But again, I have high hopes for another round because if they're up for best foreign language film and for best director, which is one of the big three, I think that's a big deal. So
you're holding judgment till you see another round as directed by Thomas Vinterberg. What country is it
yes,
from?
Denmark.
All
It's a
right.
Danish film, but I'm going to, for my official thing that Jason will give me crap about when I miss a bunch, I'm going to say
Oh, yeah.
Nomadland for the director.
Nomadland for director. All right. I'm writing these down to hand over to Jason so he can give you crap. And so I know when you have your poll on Oscar night, I know what you're at least predicting 2 weeks in advance. So. Leading on to actor in a leading role, we have Riz Ahmed in Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins in The Father, Gary Oldman in Mank, and Stephen Yeun in Minari.
Stephen Yeun is Glenn from The Walking Dead, but 100% Anthony Hopkins deserves this, but I'm putting all my money on Chadwick Boseman winning it. And he does not deserve it. He had a small part. Like, he could have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor because it's not that big a part. It was probably the third biggest part in the movie.
Wow.
And I 100% think that he was nominated and will win because he passed away. Which he's not a bad actor, and he did not do a poor job in the movie. I'm not saying that at all, but Anthony Hopkins, like, I felt that. Chadwick Boseman,
I think
it was a
sentimentality.
stage play. If you're doing a stage play, it's different.
But sentimental reasons, Chadwick Boseman you think will win, and Anthony Hopkins has won one before, so it's all right if he doesn't get one now.
But Anthony Hopkins could still pull it off because he did that well. Gary Oldman, I don't think Gary Oldman would win. I don't think Stephen Yeun would win, but I'm glad that he was nominated. Sound of Metal was a very interesting film, and he did very well. But I think that it's between Anthony Hopkins and Chadwick Boseman.
So do you think all the Star Wars fans are cheering for Riz Ahmed since he was in
Who was he?
He was in what's the name of that one? Come on, Brian, help me out with this.
Was it
Rogue One? He was the.
Oh yeah, I thought it was The Next Generation.
No, he's like the.
Who was he in?
The pilot, Bodhi, I think is the pilot's name.
I don't remember that at all.
Do you remember the pilot he was captured and tortured and they freed him and they thought he was a little schizo for a while. Pardon my wording, I guess that's not a proper word to use, but he was.
Han Solo?
No, not Han Solo. He wasn't even in that
Oh
movie.
no, that was Solo, not Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One.
I for some reason in my head it was a girl.
Well, she was the main character in that. That was Jyn Erso, is played by, I forget her name. but that one lady.
No, I don't
Princess
remember
Leia?
him at all.
Yeah, Princess Leia. That's. All right, well then we'll move on. Best actress in a leading role. We got Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Andra Day for United States versus Billie Holiday.
She kind of pissed me off in the movie. She just made you angry during the movie, and I don't know why, but I didn't like her.
Oh, I'm going to say, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman.
She's going to win.
Frances McDormand in Nomadland. And Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman.
I mean, Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman's going to win. I get that mixed up with Pieces of a Woman. So Carey Mulligan is the one who's favored by a lot to win. And
is she the one getting revenge on whoever she?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that pretty much everybody except for Andra Day did a better job than she did. And I'm not sure if Andra Day did or not. I'm not sure I understood her character.
Was she Billie Holiday?
Yeah.
Okay. I assumed that Billie Holiday would have been the main character, but you never know on some of these things. I haven't seen the movie, so I haven't seen any of these movies yet. So.
You haven't seen a single one yet?
Nope, not a single one. Well, there weren't a whole lot of theaters open this year, and apparently they didn't think that New Mutants was worth nominating.
Isn't that a TV show?
No.
I did not see that.
Actor in a supporting role, we have Sacha Baron Cohen in The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Which is much better than Sacha Baron Cohen in the other one that he was in this year.
The Borat sequel.
Borat's subsequent movie film.
We also have Daniel Kaluuya. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what we'll go with for now. In Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami, Paul Raci in Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield in Judas and the Black Messiah.
I don't even know who was favored to win that, but I'm guessing somebody from Judas and the Black Messiah, because usually if they nominate somebody twice from the same movie, one of them wins, but I'm not sure who played who in those two. Sacha Baron Cohen actually did a real good job in Trial of the Chicago 7.
Yeah, he was really good in that. I think
not like a Borat type of role either.
No, not at all. I think Daniel Kaluuya played Fred Hampton, and then Lakeith Stanfield
Isn't that the main actor though?
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't Fred Hampton.
Oh,
wait, hang on.
But nobody was nominated for actor in a leading role, so maybe everybody was supporting.
Yeah, maybe they didn't call it a leading role, even though apparently
he did. I mean, Fred Hampton. Yeah, he played Fred Hampton. Who
he did?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him on my list. I will say Daniel Kaluuya, whoever played Fred Hampton in Judas and the Black Messiah, I think is better than the others. Although Aaron Burr did a good job in One Night in Miami.
Yeah, weren't you saying Leslie Odom Jr. was in like everything you watched there for a week or two?
Yeah, for the Golden Globes, he was in music. He was in One Night in Miami. He was in Hamilton. He was in like everything that I was watching. He was like the main guy, or like the second to main guy in everything.
All right. Actress in a supporting role. We've got Maria Bakalova. Oh, I'm starting to feel like Jason now. Maria Baklava. Or, I mean, no.
She
Maria
was the guy who
Bakalova.
tricked Rudy Giuliani into reaching down his pants in the Borat subsequent movie film.
We've got Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman in The Father, Amanda Seyfried in Mank, and Yoo Jung-yoon in Minari. Again, I probably mispronounced that last name.
Hillbilly Elegy, I saw that movie and it seemed like somebody heard from a cousin what it was like in Ohio and told somebody in California about it, and they wrote a movie about it from what they heard from a cousin. And Glenn Close did a wonderful job in what was written for her. But what was written for her seemed like not quite a caricature, but something that was like a game of telephone of talking about the opioid addiction thing in the Midwest. Like, yeah, my cousin did this and did this. Oh, his cousin did this and did this. Okay, Ron Howard, make a movie about it. So he did. And I got the sense that Glenn Close knew that it wasn't quite right, but I'll read the lines that I'm read.
She played the hell out of it.
Well, she did.
Again, I still haven't yet to see the movie. I'm a little angry at the movie because apparently, my place of business did some work for Ron Howard's production company for the movie, and we didn't get a credit. I mean, they throw everybody's name. Just a little, little credit in the blurb for the company would have been nice, but nothing. So I'm kind of mad at them.
I'm actually going to go with the Borat subsequent movie film, Maria.
Wow. You're going to say Borat subsequent movie film is going to be able to call itself Oscar-winning.
Yeah, I think so. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Amanda Seyfried or Olivia Colman won. I'd be surprised if Glenn Close won, because I think that her performance has been panned pretty much by the critics and by...
Yeah. People either liked or hated the movie. I don't really hear any in-betweens on it. Part of it is because I think people thought it should have been a different movie than what it was, so they're judging it based on what they thought it should have been, is what I get from a lot of the complaints about it.
It's kind of funny when you're watching it. It is like somebody heard a story, like read a newspaper article maybe about the opioid addiction thing in the Midwest, and they live in California, so they don't really understand. They've never been there. They've never really experienced it. And I'm not saying that I know anything about the opioid addiction crisis, but I live in the Midwest, and the way that they portrayed it seemed like somebody who heard a story about the Midwest. It's kind of strange.
Did the novelist, was he part of the screenwriting team, do you know, or?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let me look that up.
Because it's like, well, he lived it, but yeah, that doesn't mean... I never read the book, so I can't. Never read the book, never saw the movie. So here I am talking about it on the internet.
So what's the next one? While he looks at it.
Well, he looks at that. We've got Best Animated Feature Film. I don't even know if we have to go over this, because we all know Over the Moon is going to win.
It was like Japanese anime studios, like, let's try to make a movie that's not anime, that's more like a Disney film. And they made it inferior to both anime and regular Disney films. And that being said, Soul was so good. Onward was actually so good. It was a D&D. It was a D&D thing. It was like if people just forgot about magic, and then like there's elves and unicorns and everything in the modern world. And
We have
it was
come to a movie I've seen because I have seen Onward.
But Onward was good. I really, really enjoyed Onward. I think that was my favorite, although I'm going to say Soul is the one that's going to win. Because Soul is probably a better film.
So according to this, he is credited as one of the two writers of the movie, and he's also a producer.
Oh, credited at least. Now that could just mean credited is based on the work of. Isn't that considered a credit?
Yeah.
I
imagine he had some sort of input.
Okay. We are moving, since we're talking about writing, we are at the best adapted screenplay. And holy crap, how many people are screenwriters for Borat's subsequent movie film? 1, 2,
I
3.
don't understand that, because it's like what's the Impractical Jokers. That's what the plot of it is. It's like we have this basic plot, and then we go and we see what the real people in the world say. They actually blurred out faces of people in this movie. There's an Oscar-nominated movie that they blurred out the faces of people in there, like they do in Impractical Jokers or Jackass.
It looks like there are 8 writing credits, and 4 people get story by credits.
But the Father is up to, and Nomadland, and One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger is one of the ones that I haven't seen yet, which I'm curious about that, because it's only nominated for screenplay, and you don't often see that where something's just nominated for screenplay and it doesn't get anything else in the entire thing. Like, I haven't even heard of it before it was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay.
It's probably one of those where the writers all said, that was a damn good movie, but all the actors and producers and directors said, that was a piece of crap.
Could be. I'm going to say Nomadland will win, is my guess.
I'm going for Nomadland.
Because The Father and One Night in Miami are both based on plays, and that doesn't seem fair if those win Best Adapted Screenplay, because it seems like it'd be real easy to adapt a play into a movie.
Well, the problem is you don't want to adapt a play into a movie and make it feel claustrophobic like you hate. So if it's adapted, I mean, adapting a novel is the same way.
The dialogue is all the same throughout, or close to being the same. And I would be pissed if Borat won.
Borat's going to win. So I might pick The White Tiger just cause.
Oh, White Tiger I haven't seen, so that could definitely be an awesome one.
And is that available to be watched somewhere? I know you said you had it lined up.
Streaming on Netflix for free.
Okay.
I think.
Well, you have to have a subscription to Netflix. But it's not one of those Apple TV ones that.
No. Greyhound and Wolfwalkers, an animated feature, are the two Apple TV ones.
All right. And original screenplay.
This one, without a doubt, is going to be Trial of the Chicago 7. It's an Aaron Sorkin film. If anything beats that, I would be very, very, very surprised.
Everybody loves Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
Yep. I feel bad for the ones nominated with it, because they all know they don't have a chance.
Well, those are Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, and Sound of Metal. Are there any others you want to talk about?
I want to talk about documentary feature.
Okay, documentary feature. We have Collective, Crip.
It's a Romanian film that's about the healthcare crisis in Romania, which wasn't bad. It's probably the second best of them.
Okay. Crip Camp.
Crip Camp's about a camp for disabled people. I think it was an Obama film, which gives it a chance of winning, but it wasn't that good. It seems like a History Channel show or something like that, like not a Oscar documentary.
The Mole Agent.
This by far deserves it. It may not win, but I will 100% vote for it every time. This is the best spy movie that I've ever seen in my life, like of fiction or nonfiction. It's what the plot is this lady's mother says that she's being robbed in a nursing home by the people who work there. So she hires a private investigator who puts out an ad for 90-year-olds who understand technology to go into the nursing home and pretend to be a spy. And they give him like spy glasses and everything, and he knows nothing about technology and it's or being a spy, and it is the funniest thing as he's trying to spy on these people, and it has like a great message at the. It's probably my favorite film period of the year, The Mole Agent, but it is fantastic. It's I think it might be Danish. No, it's I don't know. It's somewhere Scandinavian, I think. But
well, the people nominated, their names are Mati Alberdi and Marcela Santibanez.
Ooh, that sounds more Eastern European.
Yeah, definitely does not sound Icelandic.
Maybe it's Polish. I don't know. I'd look it up, but I'm using my phone to speak with you. But Mole Agent, I don't know if it will win, but
are you
definitely
picking it to win, or isn't you're not going official on this?
I'm picking it to win because it deserves it that much, even though I'm pretty sure it won't win.
All right.
It says a private investigator in Chile.
Chile. I wasn't even on the right half of the country.
Yeah, you're on the.
Now that you say that, I totally know that it was all in Spanish, and
you were on the other side of the world.
I wasn't even close.
But then we also have My Octopus Teacher.
That was 8 thumbs up. I heard a review that said 8 thumbs up, but it was okay. It was probably better than Crip Camp, and it was about a guy who was following an octopus underwater, and it had great cinematography for one guy making it, everything. But it's on Netflix as well.
I was like, if I had to pick, I would have guessed like My Octopus Teacher was about a guy who was too handsy. He was a teacher, like preying on young children.
Oh,
I was so wrong.
We should have done one of the. What was what's the game that you play on?
I do not remember the name of the game. Plotlines.
Plotlines. My Octopus Teacher.
I would have failed in that one. And we've got Time.
Time is actually probably going to win, but I thought that was probably the worst of them. It's about it takes somebody's home movies that they are making, like before they robbed a bank and then they went to jail and she got out and he was in there for like 60 years or something. And it was about how the criminal justice system is broken, but they didn't make a good argument for it. Like, I completely agree that the criminal justice system is broken, but the movie really didn't make a good argument for it, and I didn't like it. But that's the one that Vegas has favor, or not Vegas, because I don't think they can vote on, or they can bet on that. But the overseas betting things, they have Time as the favorite.
All right. I did want to say we might as well have to talk about original song, because that's always one of my favorites. Especially because when they perform the songs and you go, this song sucks, during the middle of the broadcast. But
Oh, this is the one that has the Will Ferrell movie.
oh
The
no.
Eurovision Song
Oh, it does. Oh, boy.
Contest.
We got Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah. Music by H.E.R. and Ernst Emil III. Lyrics by H.E.R. and Tiara Thomas. Hear My Voice from The Trial of Chicago 7. Music by Daniel Pemberton. Lyrics by Daniel Pemberton and Celeste Waite. Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest. Music and lyrics by Savannah Kochata, Fat Max Xus, and Richard Goranson. IOC Scene from The Life Ahead. Music by Diane Warren. Lyrics by Diane Warren and Laura Pausini. And Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Music and lyrics by Leslie Odom Jr. and Sam Ashworth.
There's Leslie Odom Jr. again.
There he is. He could win an Oscar, just not in the acting category, huh? Any songs stick out for you?
I will say Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah, although I could not hum any one of them if I were asked with a gun to my head.
Oh, the sad part is we've come to the second movie so far that I have seen, and that was Eurovision Song Contest.
I thought you hated Will Ferrell.
I do. I kind of hate watched the movie. I do like, oh no, I forgot her name. The lead actress in it.
Rachel McAdams.
Yes, Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
It's like I like Rachel McAdams, so I kind of watched it expecting, and then it was like, oh, this is bad. Will Ferrell is bad.
I did kind of like when he left the knife and said, "I'll just leave this here in case you need to do more of the murders."
I mean, it had some funny parts, but I'm assuming that's the song that was the emotional song of the movie that is up for the Oscar.
Yes, I think that we looked it up and it was, yes. It was the climax song.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad song, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't know any of the others, but I'm kind of cheering for Leslie Odom Jr.
Oh, before we move on, did you see the new Pinocchio with where the Italian director, the big Italian director, was the Geppetto? It was dark.
Oh, I did not see it's out already.
Yeah, it's streaming several places, but like there was a graphic hanging scene where they put a noose around Pinocchio's neck and hung him from a tree. And then he didn't die because, of course, he's a puppet. But they left him there all night, assuming that he would die overnight.
Wow.
And then when he turned into a donkey, they tied rocks to him and threw him into the ocean to drown him so that they could carve off his skin and make handbags or something out of him.
Wow.
But it was dark. Like, I'd say darker than Life is Beautiful by the same guy, which is about the Nazis in concentration camps. And this is Pinocchio, about a puppet trying to become a real boy.
Wait, so the director of Life is Beautiful made a Pinocchio movie 20 years after the actor of Life is Beautiful made a Pinocchio movie?
Life is Beautiful was made by the guy whose name I can't remember.
I know the lead actor is Roberto Benigni.
Roberto Benigni. He made Life is Beautiful. So then in 2002, he didn't direct, but he was in a version of Pinocchio where he actually played Pinocchio.
Yeah, terrible version.
And then this year, he directed Pinocchio where he played Geppetto.
Okay.
And It's
So-
up for costume design and production design, I think. No, not production design, but it's up for 2 things.
So he kind of has a hard-on for Pinocchio, huh?
It became a lot more interesting when it became real dark.
All right. I suppose we can move on unless you wanted to talk about makeup or hairstyling or anything.
No. It's just interesting this year now that I
Pinocchio's
have
up for
the
that.
opportunity to watch everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it is up for
It is
makeup
for
and
makeup and
hairstyling.
hairstyling.
But it's interesting being able to, like, most of these I can watch for free. Some of them we had to rent on Amazon Prime, but they're all out there. And Mole Agent is, if you have Hulu, it's free on Hulu, and that's the one that I would request most. Trial of Chicago 7 and The Father, or after that, Trial of Chicago 7 is free on Netflix. Father, we had to rent. I think it cost $20 on Amazon Prime.
Oh, screw that. If I'm paying money to watch a movie, I'm going to the theater, damn it.
And animated, I think Onward was my favorite, although Soul was probably the better movie.
I was
Soul
kind
was
of
more like La La Land than anything on the list.
I was kind of torn on Onward. I think maybe because since I'm a big fan of fantasy and that type of stuff, I felt it missed feeling fantasy. But it did, like, give me all the feels and the tears at the end when you're like, oh. So it was effective in doing that.
It did give me the feels at the end.
All right. That is our Oscar picks. I suppose we'll have you back on in 2 weeks or so after the Oscars. See how you did, so Jason can suck it when you get 90%. Or something. We did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 10 different awards. So when you get 9 out of 10.
Should I do one more just to make the math harder on Jason?
If you want. I'll let you
we'll
pick
do,
which one you want.
we'll do international feature film and do another round.
All
I
right.
haven't seen it.
But since it's also up for Best Director.
Best director, I figure it's a shoo-in.
All right.
That is only to make the math harder on Jason.
Yeah, okay, we got Best Feature Film, Best Animated Feature, Documentary Feature, and International Feature. So yeah, that makes sense to pick those.
Okay.
Alrighty. I suppose we can move on to something else. Well, neither of you guys were here last week, so we could move on into the feedback that Jason made us skip over last week.
We can do that. Let me pull that up.
I got. We did take Doug's question because Doug was here. So after that, I think we skipped everything else.
Let's see. We had. All right, I think I got it here. All right. So we had from Graphic Novice. They would like to know what episode we are going to start talking about the new Mighty Ducks series.
Anybody have anything to say about the Mighty Ducks series?
I did like the original movie. I haven't watched the series, and it's probably been 20 years since I've seen the original movie. But
Nope.
Has anybody said anything good about it, or is it like?
I don't know, Brian. Aren't you a fan of the original movies?
I am, yes.
And the sequels.
Yeah, I liked all 3 of the movies. I honestly forgot about this coming out, and I haven't gotten around to watch it yet. I think there's only maybe 3 episodes out so far. I think it started on the 26th of March, so I think maybe just 3 episodes are out. So hopefully by next week I've caught up on that.
All right, so maybe we'll take a look at that and discuss it next week.
Let's see here from Josh at Great125095. He says, catching up on the show, and Jason is talking about missing persons cases. What cases are some of his rabbit holes he goes down?
Oh, well, Jason's
Jason,
not here
when
to
you
answer
listen to
that.
this,
Yeah.
Answer Josh's question
Yeah.
next week.
I will say I don't know, because when Jason starts talking about the missing persons cases, I zone out. So if you're into that sort of stuff, I can't even remember. I know Jason has been on another podcast that talks about this stuff. It might be, I don't know, maybe Josh is involved with that podcast. I don't know. But go listen to their podcast because they like that stuff. When Jason starts talking about it, I kind of zone out. I pull a Blake and stop paying attention.
All right, here. Next we have from Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Please use your platform to point out that the Winter Soldier and Bane were deep state Hollywood liberals trying to normalize masks before COVID because they knew Obama would give us all COVID to push his big mask agenda. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard that Obama actually started a mask-making company and wanted to make money off of masks, so he decided to, start COVID.
And the Winter Soldier and the Falcon both came out during the Obama presidency, and of course if he's making movies like Crit Camp and American Factory that are up for Oscars, then he might as well be making other movies to push forward his agenda, to his, what was it, liberal, what kind of?
Hollywood liberals trying to normalize masks. Deep state Hollywood liberals.
Deep state liberal agenda. I see it. I see it.
Clear as day. I don't understand why other people don't get it. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Down the hall.
All right. Last but not least, we hear from Professor Number One at Doctor Number One. In honor of your guests from last week, so 2 weeks ago, do you guys have any good neighbor stories? Oh yeah, that's the one. He's talking about the kid tied to the tree. Yeah.
I'd say it would help to actually know who your neighbors are. I'm pretty much a hermit and don't know much. We did have a lady who, older lady who lived next to us who, I think by the end there had pretty bad dementia. So occasionally she would come over and ask for help because she couldn't figure out how to change a light bulb or something. But that's about all the interaction I've had with my neighbors since I've been in this house. Previous place I lived, didn't even know the neighbors, so that's it for my neighbor's story.
I had the neighbors call the cops on me because I didn't cut my grass for a long period of time, and I'm sitting out on my front porch, and then this what looks like a cop car pulls up, but it says on the side, Cincinnati Litter Patrol. So I'm sitting up on the porch and with my wife at the time, and we were laughing about, oh, it's the Litter Patrol. What are they going to do? Arrest us? And they fined us $300 for not cutting the grass. So I didn't like those neighbors.
They still there?
No, the guy who owned the house died, and his daughter lived with him and couldn't afford the house, so she moved out. And then, believe it or not, worse people moved in. We had to go over and tell them, please stop smoking pot on the porch. It's very strong, and I can't go out on my porch because I can't breathe because of the pot smell. So now they just go out to the curb and do it in their car all the time.
Oh, nice. At least they're being considerate and getting away from.
They're very nice about it, but still rather that just inside the house. Or even the backyard would be fine.
Maybe you should have went into your backyard when you went outside instead of your front yard.
There's really no shade in the back.
So they're doing it in the middle of the day is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Brian, any neighbor stories?
No, I mean, I don't really know my neighbors either. Like, I mean, we're friendly when we're out on the porch or in the yard or walking to the cars. We always wave and nod, but I don't have anything like, nothing crazy like coming out to one of the neighbors' kids tied to a tree or.
I did think of something that's amusing. Is we've got a guy who lives across the street, and apparently people we have who cut our grass because I'm too lazy and old to cut grass, so I get other people to do it for me. But apparently they say that our neighbor would keep giving them dirty looks, the guy across the street, whenever they're cutting grass. Because apparently he owns a lawn care company because he's got like 3 trucks with the logo on it. But the thing is, he's got the worst lawn on the street. Like, I look at his lawn, I'm like, I wouldn't want you to be taking care of my lawn. I mean, I can make my lawn look like shit without any help. But apparently he looks
awesome.
at the people who cut our grass like sideways. But hey. All right. Well, that is it for listener feedback. Oh, I have no clue what the movies did since Jason didn't get that stuff set up because he's bad. Takes the week off and doesn't prepare us for anything. I mean, that guy's ridiculous.
Are the movies in the theaters starting to pick up at all?
They are, because I think Godzilla versus Kong, or whatever it's called, Kong versus Godzilla, like set the record for post-COVID weekend box office.
Do they count like the HBO Max subscriptions?
They are only counting what was done at the box office, the stuff we report.
Let's see here.
Box Office Mojo.
According to boxofficereport.com, let's see, the weekend of the 9th through the 11th.
I do have something on Box Office Mojo here.
Okay.
The 9th through the 11th, we got Godzilla vs. Kong did another 13.9 million. I don't know what the total is, but it did 13.9 last weekend.
Let's see, 69,500,000.
All right, 69, dude.
Nice.
Followed up by Nobody at 2.6 million, so a sharp drop between first and second. Then The Unholy at 2.4 million, Raya and the Last Dragon at 2.2, and Voyagers at 1.4. And The Croods: A New Age is still at number 10, so it's still in the top 10.
Did another $245,000. Yep, it's up to 56 million.
Go Croods! I can't believe that wasn't nominated for any Oscars.
I think it was nominated for the Golden Globe.
Longest tenured box office movie.
That we're not leaving the box office till we get our budget back.
I remember thinking that Trolls World Tour would be the only movie that came out last year. And it would win everything. Actor, actress.
No, because Dr. Dolittle came out last year. Oh, I'm sorry, just Dolittle, wasn't it? They dropped the Doctor. And Bad Boys for Life, I think.
That would have made for an interesting Oscars if it were just those three up for everything.
That would have been interesting.
Probably been postponed.
But I would have had a lot more respect for them had they not postponed it. Just gone with those three. These three earned it. We gotta. It's between Trolls World Tour, which is shoe-in for animated feature film. Dolittle, shoe-in for special effects.
Oh God. Can I live in a world where Bad Boys for Life won like 16 Oscars? All right. Let's see. Oh, looking at last week, I don't think Jason talked about the story about all the people complaining about the new Captain America and the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Because people are angry that he is not a good replacement for Steve Rogers. And so they're like being mean to like the actor Wyatt Russell who portrays him, and all this, talking shit online and all this other shit. Let's see. And the whole point is that's the story. The person who's taking the title of Captain America isn't worthy of it. That's the whole point of the show. And people are like giving death threats, and he's getting so much hate.
Is it just me, or I haven't seen the show, but I've seen the memes, and the memes make him look a little like Blake? Am I wrong?
You mean physically actually looks like Blake?
Yeah, like if Blake put on the Captain America suit.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of see it.
I can kind of see it.
Like me, who hardly ever sees Blake.
Yeah. I'm sure Blake will take that as a compliment because, Wyatt Russell is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son. So, you got two very good-looking people from Hollywood as your parents. I'm sure Blake will.
I kind of meant to insult him, so I take it back.
I'm sure Blake will take it as a compliment, though.
So I guess I am the only one who thought that.
I didn't, because I didn't want to give Blake the compliment.
I didn't either, because I don't want to have to hear him talk about it for an hour next week.
I won't have to hear that. Unless he's on in 2 weeks. Then I might.
All right. Well, I suppose... Jeff, give me top 5 music.
It's time for the top 5, top 5, top 5.
All right. Is everyone ready? Oh, no, that's better than anything Jason's ever done, so...
Yeah, by the way, Jason apparently gave me the keys to the castle this week, and I'm supposed to be doing all of the impressions that Jason usually does. So I'm not going to do that, because I don't think that's fair to me.
It's not. You shouldn't have to be that terrible in your life just to appease Jason.
So, I appreciate him trusting me with that, but no, I'm not going to do that ever. I did one impression of Jason, and that's it. That's as far as my impressions go.
And we appreciate it. All right. Well, top 5. I came up with this idea, and then I struggled to find things that I really, really liked. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm like, top 5 nicknames. Just favorite nicknames, nicknames you enjoy, nicknames you hate. I don't care. Nicknames.
So am I starting?
Yeah, we might as well let you start.
I wasn't a big fan of this one, but I went through a list of I'm into the presidents a lot, so I went through a list of presidential nicknames. So all mine are presidential nicknames.
All right.
My number 5 is Madison, His Little Majesty.
Because he's short.
Which I kind of liked.
Little Majesty.
Brian, do you have a number 5?
Number 5, I hobied this one. It is Cujo, and then the Dominator. So Curtis
Hockey
Joseph
goalies.
and Dominic Hasek.
Cujo. Oh yeah, that kind of made me think of the Wall. Hobby Bullen.
Yep.
I don't know anything about hockey, but I like the nickname Cujo for a goalie. That sounds cool.
Well,
And
it's
it's
like, I mean,
Curtis
it's
Joseph.
Curtis
C-U-J-O.
Joseph is his name, so.
Well, that's
perfect.
even better.
Yeah.
He actually had some really awesome masks, like his goalie mask, like the artwork that was done on it. They were awesome.
Oh yeah, because I when we worked at the theater, then there were 3 managers by the name of Jeff, so they started having to differentiate us by their last name. So they started calling me Mr. Now, which I didn't really like, but I don't know what I'm going to say. Don't call me my name. But so then when I was the only Jeff left, they were still calling. I'm like, you can call me Jeff. I'm like, no, I can't. I've been calling you Mr. Now for like 3 years, 4 years. I can't change it. And then when like somebody got promoted into a management position, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let another manager call me Mr. Now. So she started calling me Jay Now, and I'm trying to get everybody. I'm like, yeah, let's everybody. Yeah, I'm not a Mister. That's my dad.
Did you ever come back with Mr. Now's my father?
I probably did at some point, but I mean, knowing it's such a cheesy ass line,
Yeah.
I would have done it in a terrible side way glance or something.
So was that your number 5, J-Now?
No, it wasn't. That's not even on my list. It probably should be, but no. No, actually, my number 5, I thought, what are some weird things that got nicknames? And I thought, isn't the New York Times nicknamed the Gray Lady? I kind of like that nickname. Because it's a newspaper, from the old days, and it's like the Gray Lady. Even though the New York Times can be crappy, it's got a solid nickname, I think.
I like that.
I never knew that it was nicknamed at all.
And then my number 4, I suppose I had to get into a wrestling nickname, because why the hell not? So I'm going to go with one of my favorite all-time wrestlers in Chris Jericho, and his nickname of the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, just because it's so cheesy.
Very fitting of his personality, though.
Brian, you got a number 4?
Then let's see. Number 4, I've got the Big Donkey. Adam
Adam
Dunn.
Dunn.
Yep.
Nice.
It's perfect. I mean, it just fits him perfect.
Jeff, you got a...
My number 4 is Old Rough and Ready, Zachary Taylor. I kind of like that, Old Rough and Ready. It's a cool nickname, and it would be one that I'd probably like to have.
It is a good nickname. Wasn't he a bad person though?
He was a gruff person. He died by drinking milk on a sunny day that was sitting out for a while.
Excellent.
Milk was a bad choice.
Oh no, Will Ferrell movie. Oh, wait.
My number 3 is Tricky Dick. Everybody knows who Tricky Dick is, and I like that. I like that.
I don't think he liked that as a nickname.
Yeah, probably not so much.
Well, is that one of the rules that they?
Oh no, not at all. That's usually the better ones when somebody doesn't like their nickname.
Let's see here. My number 3 was Boner from Growing Pains.
That's a good one.
Nice. Okay. My number 3, I'm going for, my sports nickname, baseball nickname, the Big Unit, Randy Johnson. I was a Randy Johnson fan of that 90s, early 2000s Seattle team, and it's such a terrible nickname that it's great.
Do you know how he got that nickname?
Big units?
I was assuming it's because he had a large dick.
So, let me find the story really fast. I just read it earlier today when I was looking this up.
Nicknames.
So, it was Tim Raines.
Okay.
They were in the locker room, and Tim Raines he's a small guy. He was like 5'9". And like in the locker room one day, like they're passing by each other and they bump into each other. And Tim Raines, Randy Johnson says, he looks up to me. He's like, "Damn, you're a big unit," and just walks off. So that's just how it stuck in the locker room.
Well, and I'm assuming that was, and Johnson stays with Montreal. That was early in his career he got that then. Okay. Cool. That's my number 2. My number 2, it's a character from a book and a television show. I'm going for Gregor Clegane's nickname of the Mountain That Rides. Because, that should strike fear into everybody who hears about it.
I didn't know that it was the Mountain That Rides, and I've listened to the book on tape, and I've seen all the shows.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was the Mountain That Rides. Obviously shortens to the Mountain.
Right.
But
I don't remember that part.
It's much better with
that makes it cooler,
rides.
yeah.
Let's see here. My number 2 is going to be the Italian Stallion.
Oh, that is a good one. And I should have expected that from you.
And it's funny, there's no real story behind it, or how it got brought up. He just in a couple different articles I read about it, about him and about with the movie and stuff, they asked him how he came up with it, and he's like, I was just having dinner by myself in my apartment, and it just popped into my head. So it
rhymed.
Yeah, and it's now it's an iconic, it's crazy how that stuff works.
My number 2 and my number 1 are very similar. It was Hayes and Tyler. And Hayes was his fraudulency, and Tyler was his accidency, which I really like those. I really like those nicknames that people came up with. And Hayes because he lost the popular vote and kind of cheated his way in, so he's the fraudulency. And Tyler, William Henry Harrison died, so he's his accidency. So
That's funny.
Gotta like them both.
Let's see. My number 1. I'm gonna stay close to home here, and I'm gonna say the Power Bottom.
Ooh, Jim's nickname.
Yep.
I do have to say, I have a very hard time calling my brother the Power Bottom. So I probably won't use that nickname too much, but oh yeah, we're coming to me. I thought about doing something similar to you, staying close at home and going with Jason's nickname of Douche Canoe, but it hadn't really stuck yet, so I probably shouldn't keep it, or at least put it that high on my list. But
Douche Canoe. That's great.
I am actually going to, though, give some credit to one of the places that we're rivals with, and that is the state of Pennsylvania and their state nickname of the Keystone State. I always thought that was the best of all the 50 state nicknames, especially, because they're like the middle state of the original 13 colonies, so they're kind of in the middle, keeping everything together and stable. Whether it still is apt today, I doubt it, but but I will say that I always liked that state nickname. And I do have to say it is better than just naming it after a nut that fell from a tree that we have here.
Yeah.
Any honorable mentions? Anybody have any?
I was looking through other things that weren't presidents, and I found a town, I'm not even sure where it is, called Leipzig, Leipzig. I've never even heard of it, but apparently its nickname is Bimbo Town.
Wow. It's in
Which
Eastern
really
Europe.
fascinated me. It sounds Eastern European.
I want to say that's Polish, but I'm trying to remember. Was that in Ticket to Ride Europe? Is that one of the cities you're trying to connect?
I don't know.
Well, now I'm looking it up.
I also had Machine Gun Kelly on my list.
Sorry, Leipzig isn't. Oh, Machine Gun. Yeah, Leipzig is in Germany.
Germany. Why is it called Bimbo Town?
I do not know. What is Leipzig famous for?
Bimbos, clearly.
It's been a major center for both classical as well as modern dark alternative music. The Oper Leipzig is one of the most prominent opera houses in Germany. Is Leipzig a nice city? It's a pretty vibrant city and a great place to visit for a long weekend. Bimbo Town. Oh. Was Leipzig in Poland? Apparently at one point it was. So I was not completely wrong when I said that, I think. In 18th century, Leipzig was for 50 years under Polish rule within the framework of the Polish Saxonian state. Okay, Leipzig and Bimbo Town.
Bimbo Town. Bimbo Town.
Bimbo Town. That's all written in German. And that's okay. I'll translate this page. What does it say? Come on, Google. Help me out. Can't translate this page. Okay.
So it's a fine, keep your secrets, then Bimbo Town.
Brian, you have any?
Yeah, I had a few. For like TV, movies, well, two. They're from TV shows. Fonzie, obviously, was a good one, and then Screech.
So you had Fonzie and Screech, and you just jumped right over Chachi?
I did.
Chachi?
I tried my best to avoid Scott Baio at all costs. So.
Down the hall.
Yeah. And then from sports, the one honorable mention I had was going back to hockey, the Grim Reaper, Stu Grimson. He played for Anaheim. He was their enforcer.
Sounds like an apt nickname.
Yes.
Apt, I tell you. I mean, I would have to say, for an honorable mention, the classic, the Hammer for Hank Aaron.
Hammer and Hank, yeah.
I mean, Jason wanted to be called the Hammer, but we can't let him have it because you can't give yourself a nickname. So he's known as Douche Canoe. Oh, I suppose that brings us to the end, unless anybody wanted to add something. Did we have any deaths this week?
Well, I was going to say so Jason did tweet out that he wanted people to send in their own top 5 lists for this week.
Oh, yes. Be a good intern. Let us know what people said.
All right. So first off, we have from RJ Holt.
RJ Holt 666.
His top 5 are number 5, Ginger. Number 4, Scary. Number 3, Posh. Number 2, Baby. And number 1, Sporty.
Really? I think Sporty is one of the lamest of those nicknames. He might be his favorite Spice Girl, but I thought it was the lamest nickname.
Yeah. Let's see then, from Steve at EILFM. His top 5 are the top 5 characters in Congo. Number 5, Charles Travis, which is Bruce Campbell. Number 4, Eddie Ventro, Joe
Pantaleone?
Yes, that guy. Number 3, Captain Wanta, Delroy Lindo. Number 2, Amy the Talking Gorilla. And number 1, Monroe Kelly.
I suppose I should go back and apologize to Randy. He wasn't necessarily giving us nicknames, was he? He was just giving us his own top 5 of Spice Girls. So I apologize, Randy. You can have your Sporty at the top of your list.
Yeah. Let's see here. From Stork at Besotted Geek.
All right, Stork, we're going to hate this.
His top 5 are characters with speech impediments. Number 5, Porky Pig. Number 4, Elmer Fudd. Number 3, Daffy Duck. Number 2, Sylvester. And number 1, Jason Brigger.
Okay, good one, Stark. Good.
Let's see here. Next, we have top 5 zombie movies from Jen Adams.
Ooh.
I know her.
Let's see. Number 5, we have Cemetery Man. Number
Kick
4,
ass for the Lord.
Number 4, we have Shivers. Number 3, Warm Bodies.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Zomcom.
Yeah, it was actually really good though. Number 2, Dead and Breakfast.
Zombie musical.
And number 1, Dawn of the Dead.
The remake.
No, it's got to be the original.
I'm assuming she has to mean the remake, the Zack Snyder, because he's one of the best directors of this and any generation.
Was that really Zack Snyder who did the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
Pretty sure it was Zack Snyder did Dawn of the Dead, unless I'm mistaken. He's got a new zombie movie coming out too. Apparently, a trailer just dropped for a new Zack Snyder's new zombie movie.
And isn't it called Army of the Dead?
I honestly didn't get or didn't remember the name of it, so it could be.
Yeah. Actually, I watched
part 2. Didn't he do
the trailer?
He did 300, yes.
So
yeah.
Part
The
2
new
would
one
be a zombie movie.
Yeah. So the new Zack Snyder is Army of the Dead. Let's see. And last but not least, we had for top 5s, we had. Where did it go? Hang on.
Big Dev, the Psy guy.
Where did it go, Brian? Find it. There we go. His top 5 are the top 5 rappers of all time. Number 5, Dylan. Number 4, Dylan. Number 3, Dylan. Number 2, Dylan. And number 1, Dylan.
Do I know this Dylan?
I don't know. So his tweet accompanying that is a Comedy Central GIF of Dave Chappelle saying Dylan 5 times.
Ah.
So I'm guessing it's something from Chappelle Show.
It went over my head.
Yes.
But it has the potential to be very funny.
It has potential of being funny. It's just lost on this audience.
I don't think we had anything on Twitter or on Facebook. I don't think. No, doesn't look like it.
Excellent.
But we do potentially have Sylvester Stallone making a Cliffhanger 2 hanging out there. So
is that going to be the title? Hanging out there?
I don't know. He teased it today on Instagram.
Uh-oh.
So it just said big news coming, and it was a picture of him from Cliffhanger. So could it be a sequel?
Director's cut?
It could be director's cut because he's kind of on that.
Because he wants to try to make the movie good.
I don't care whatever it is. I'm sure I'll watch it and then I'll love it. So
I kid because I care.
Right.
Did we have any passings, any moments of silence?
I'm sure we probably did. Or do you?
I honestly, I don't think I remember seeing any this week.
Well, what about the rapper guy?
DMX.
Oh, DMX. I did see one. Matter of fact, it was in our chat for several days.
And Prince Philip.
Oh God. Maybe I was just so happy he was dead. It didn't feel like I needed to give a moment of silence. Oh wait, did I say that? Ooh, I got a spam message in my Facebook Messenger.
From the Queen?
From some, I can't, it's just a whole bunch of things. I don't know. I doubt that's the Queen. But we will.
I know she listens to you.
Oh, really? You know that?
Mm-hmm. She
Tara...
talks about it on The Crown.
Does Tara Reid listen to us yet?
No, she's been warned not to.
She's boycotted us.
What
Is
did we
it a
ever
bad
do?
idea of the week?
Bad idea of the week, Jason taking a week off. Putting me in charge of running this show? Please. Oh, that's bad idea number 14,262. Because in the general scheme of things, who really cares about our little crappy podcast?
Let's see here. Actor Paul Ritter passed away.
I don't know, a Paul Ritter.
He was known for his work on the British sitcom Friday Night Dinner. He was in Chernobyl, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Quantum of Solace.
English, I'm guessing.
Yes. Other than that, is DMX, Prince Philip, and Joseph Sarebo. He was on the Sopranos. That was
Did he get whacked?
Yeah.
Well, moment of silence. But not too long of a moment, because I still don't like Prince Philip. Well, so I guess we come to the end of our show. Anybody got titles we can name this one?
I have. My contract is in the mail. It was kinda not flammable. And knowing is half the battle. Maybe I'll just... I can't read my writing, so never mind on that one. Deep state liberal agenda. The big unit. I have a hard time calling my brother that. Keep your secrets, Bimbo Town. And that's it.
The only thing I wrote down was douche canoe.
I also had knowing is half the battle, and I also had keep your secrets, Bimbo Town. I had 8 thumbs up, lost on this audience, and our crappy little podcast.
I do like the deep state Hollywood liberal, just because A, I know Jason's probably going to want to change it, and B, I just want to see if we get any kind of feedback from that.
Deep state Hollywood liberal agenda?
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
With a backup in case Jason...
If Jason has to change it on us, but I'm entering it in, so he won't know till it's already up. But if he has to change it, he can change it to keep your secrets, Bimbo Town.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for actually showing up.
Anytime.
No golf for me this week.
No golf. I mean, the hardest part is showing up.
Yeah.
And I'm blown away by your guys' ability to show up. All right. So Roger says goodbye.
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 From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history, not so bad, there's the history. It's the history bad, so bad.